Since the beginning of 207, we have had special appearances from Bull Moose every 2 to 3 weeks here on the show. It's been always a pleasure to have a couple of people from there. Tonight, we have one member of the Bull Moose posse and a special guest to talk about new music releases, Chris Brown from Bull Moose and Herb Ivy, the captain from the Rock and Roll Blimp, WBLM Radio.
Thank you for having me. Love talking music with both of you.
All right, we're so happy to have you here. Let's get talking about the first new release that we have here for this week. It's an album from Dwayne Betts, son of Dickie Betts, and there's quite a musical history and family here, Chris.
Oh yeah, for sure. So obviously he's named for Dickie Betts' old bandmate Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers Band, and the bass player is the son of his name is Barry Dwayne Oakley. So you've got, his dad was in the Allman Brothers, and it was recorded at Derek Trucks' studio. He's the the nephew, and so anyhow, what does it sound like? Well, his sounds like that 21st century Allman Brothers Band sound. Like anybody who's into Tedeschi Trucks Band or blues rock in general, roots rock, is just gonna love this. It's as good as you hope it would be.
Sounds like there's going to be kind of an avalanche of new music, or not new music, but new releases coming out from Aerosmith.
Yeah.
What is the deal here? Why is this happening, and what's going to be coming out of the pipeline?
It is a good time to be an Aerosmith fan. So historically, Aerosmith's been on 2 record labels, Columbia and Geffen. Now they are all under one tent with Universal Music Group. So Universal is mastering and reissuing all these Aerosmith albums. So yes, Aerosmith fans, you bought the album, then you bought the cassette, the 8-track, and then the CD, and then you bought the cassette again because your roommate stole it. And we're going to buy it again because we love Aerosmith. The other cool thing about this is now that it's all under one tent, the whole catalog, they're going to release a gigantic greatest hits collection in August, which is the summer of Aerosmith around here.
How many songs are going to be on that? Any idea?
It's like 5 sides of a vinyl, like side A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Vinyl will be on CD, and so it's pretty robust.
All right, good stuff for a New England band.
Yep.
Let's move on to another one that is not in the same kind of popularity realm as Aerosmith. Hiroshi Yoshimura and a new release called Music from 9 Postcards.
So this is one of those albums that's hugely influential, but nobody over here has heard of it. Mm-hmm. It was released in 1982, and it's kind of like the Japanese equivalent of Brian Eno's Music for Airports.
Okay.
So it's that same serene, quiet, relaxed kind of sound, but it's much more refined. If you can kind of think of like the difference between Japanese architecture and British architecture, or like 60s fashion, Yeah. It was never really available here or anywhere outside of Japan. It was pretty obscure, but everybody who heard it, went on to do
you heard
cool
of
stuff.
Herb?
No.
All right.
It's very cool.
If Herb hasn't heard of it, then he is in for a treat.
Well, no more Aerosmith on the blimp. It's going to be all Japanese.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Let's
That
finish
format
with
change.
a band I think he's heard of, or at least sort of an offshoot of a band I think he's heard of. Brian May and Friends. It's called Starfleet Project and Beyond. And what have we got here?
Brian May from Queen.
Yeah.
He did a theme song for a Japanese TV animated marionette show in the early 80s. Queen's on hiatus, so why not, right? He's Brian May. And he got some friends involved with him, one of them being Eddie Van Halen. So you have these 2 guitar gods playing together for this Japanese television theme song. And the compilation that Brian May has put out is really cool because you get a couple of like jam sessions, like 10-minute blues jams of Brian May and Eddie Van Halen just ripping it up and having a blast. So I'm glad this is, I remember seeing it in the 80s and it just kind of disappeared. So I'm so glad it's out again. So
Well, I didn't have anything to do with it.
No, well, thank you.
It sounds like an SCTV sketch or something. Just trippy.
It sounds amazing.
All right, 4 new releases, all interesting. Chris, and Herb, thank you so much.
Yeah,
You
this has been
guys,
awesome, man.
anytime.
Hey, what you have?
Feeling the love here. Stick around, back with more of 207 right after this.